Now let's do this. This is my first attempt. Please click like and let me know in the comments if you want me to make more videos like this. Today, Brad Garlinghouse, the CEO, said that the SEC will drop its case against Ripple. We were shocked to hear this. This is the news story. That's a big win for Ripple, its workers, its clients, and the whole crypto business after all. The SEC will drop its appeal against Ripple, which will end its 4-year action. This needs to be approved by a committee. The next movie will show Ripple back in the house and his point of view at that time. As many of you know, the US SEC sued Ripple a little more than 4 years ago. I can finally say that this case is over as I sit here and think back to 4 years ago. It's clear to me that this case was doomed from the start. It was the first major blow in the war on crypto, and I was sure that Ripple was not only following the law but also going to be shown to be on the right track in history. I think this sends a bad message to new Bitcoin ideas in the US. The US government hasn't always been good at picking winners. I think the judge knows this has nothing to do with Ripple and will have an impact on many other areas as well. Mary Jo White, who used to lead the SEC, has said in public, "This is a disaster and the SEC made the wrong choice." There is one other company, though, with the money, willpower, and guts to stand up to the government's abuse. Today is the last day of this trip. It's a win, and the SEC has finally given up. CEO Gary Gensler led the SEC's attack on the whole business, making the same points they did against us. They weren't trying to keep clients safe. They wanted to scare people. The regulator's main goal was to make people afraid. People who held on to XRP without knowing what was going on lost $15 billion and 0 cents in value because the SEC messed with the market. The SEC wasn't looking for justice. They were willing to pay anything to win the case. Some parts of our government agreed with the SEC and started a campaign to fire anyone who worked in crypto. We were at war with the law, or lawfare. That's why banks are so careful with crypto. They were shutting down banks if crypto went in and out of them or came in and took crypto out. This really did happen. Brad was fired from Citibank at this very moment. It was just that it wasn't handled very well. It looked like a full-on war on the business world. I think it was because they didn't understand the technology well enough or route enough about what was going on in other countries. Is this technology already being used in other countries? Are there other countries in front of us? What's wrong with us that we don't want what the other world wants? We always say that as Americans we have the best of everything, even though we don't. That's what I think is going on right now in the crypto market. I know things are crazy and your 401k or other retirement plan is down a lot, but the market always comes back. The market has gone down and back up in the past, so we know that people are still interested. We can move forward once we know what's going on with the taxes. Lucky for us, the judge scolded the SEC more than once along the way. First, because it doesn't follow the rules. The SEC got in trouble for abuses of discovery in our case. In other crypto cases too, they tried to confuse people by losing every important legal point. That's when we proved that XRP is not a security, which is now the law. These wins have made it possible for lawmakers to make crypto rules that are in line with securities laws that have been around for almost 100 years. Today's news shows that those who trying to get our government to fight a technology and an entire business have lost. I'm glad that our legal actions have made it possible for other people in the business to see the value and not back down, and for other people to fight back. Today's important win makes the end of a part of the history of crypto. I think we are all stronger because of the previous court victories, and today's important win. If you want to read the whole thing, I'll put a link to it below. If you just want to watch the movie, here it is. To build trust in stable coins, they should first be tested in real-world banking. RLUSD is now setting the standards. It is used for Ripple's payments and for running the business that tokenizes payments assets. Do not forget about Ripple's stablecoin system. Other banks will be able to use it to start their own stablecoins on the XRP system. I don't know how many banks will fail or how quickly this will happen, but I think this makes sense. Also, the US Treasury says that stable coins are the future of the US dollar, so the dollar won't change. Since it is the world's reserve currency and stable coins are doing something that the FDIC, OC, and other government officials say is okay, that would be great if someone had the best blockchain technology for banks. They would go to that person instead of Ripple or USDC. This is very important, and I made a video about why banks would use Ripple. They didn't do it themselves, which is a really bad setup. You need to plan what you want to build and then hire a group to set it up, test it, and make sure it works. This could take 6, 12, or even 18 months, but then you'll have a product that no one knows about. Ripple keeps its ledgers secret, and you can use your own safe coin. You can send money to another bank through Ripple's network, and if that bank is part of the Ripple network, you can say that you can send the money almost instantly. That's pretty cool, and I think a lot of banks will want to do it, because let's face it, banks don't want to hire a whole group of people to run a cryptocurrency, because there's too much risk and a lot of rules and licenses. Bank CEOs and other important people will have a lot of trouble with this, because they don't want to deal with everything themselves. Using Ripple and XRP to lower the risk is how they can do this. For example, Kraken now has Ripple RLUSD. Remember that USDT isn't allowed to do business in the EU or any of its 27 member countries. Soon the US will need another safe coin, maybe RLUSD, to help provide cash because they can't show proof that they have the money to back up all of these other assets. This was written by Jack McDonald as stated. RLUSD is now a part of Ripple Payments, which is a cross-border payment service. It works with more than 90 payout markets and connects you right away to banks. You should be able to use it right away to find banks, payment service providers, markets, and many more around the world. It's a ready-to-use business tool. That guy is Jack McDonald. Let me show you this. Did I spell his name wrong? His real name was Jack McDonald. Pay attention. This is Jack McDonald. Ripple. Okay, let me show you something. This is Ripple's CEO of Polyon and a board member. But first, this man who is the managing director of UB's second CEO and head of the KFR Group and KFR Financial Systems. Jack McDonald is well known. What else do we have? A Ripple Effect pilot RLSD to help. That's really cool that Ripple is supporting it with the help of Mercy Corp's Ventures and Diva. Donate. A pilot project will be run to send money in the form of Ripple USD to people who need it. The project will use blockchain technology to make this possible, and it will help drought-stricken pastoral villages in Kenya. This pilot shows how blockchain and systems can work better with stablecoin technology.